Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. This is where I take a deep dive into a particular subject, a particular creator, a particular company, and I talk about one particular trick, one particular project. Now today, I can't promise that this is not going to be a biased review. In fact, I guarantee you it will be a biased review. And the reason is I'm looking at one of my own projects. And the reason I'm doing this is because so many people have asked me to talk about my new trick with Alakazam, which is Elf, which is my very first Christmas trick that I thought the easiest way to do this would be to do a review show special where I kind of perform a couple of the routines and talk about what it is and what it does and why I came up with it. So without further ado, this week we're going to look at Elf by Alakazam Magic and myself, Craig Petty. So what is Elf? The question is, what is Elf? Well, I remember speaking to Peter Nardi at the beginning of 2022, or kind of a few months into 2022, and saying to him, what have you got? What have you got coming out at Christmas this year? Because I love Christmas tricks. You know, we all promise, don't we, that we're going to theme our tricks for Christmas, whether it be to a family audience or a corporate audience. And very rarely do we actually do that. And one thing I've always enjoyed doing is theming tricks to a Christmas theme. And I've got lots of different Christmas tricks that I've come up with over the years. And I was like, hey, what you got? Because last year they had a whole bunch of Christmas tricks come out and some of them were really good. And Pete turned around to me and he said, well, I don't think we've got anything out this year. There's nothing really slated to come out. I was like, oh no. And I said, well, how about I come up with a Christmas trick and I actually do a Christmas trick for you? Would that be something you'd be interested in? And he said, yes, absolutely. So I went to work and I had a whole bunch of files and a whole bunch of ideas. I wanted to make it more of like a mini project. And I went back to Pete a couple of months later and I was like, look, this is what I've got. I think it's awesome and you can do this with it and this with it and this with it. And he had some prototype cards made up for me. They were made by Gow from Monte Creations. And the weirdest thing was working in sort of May and June and July doing Christmas tricks at gigs. But I had to do that because I wanted to work it in. And I couldn't wait until Christmas to work it in. I didn't want to release the trick without it being worked in. So I spent like 3 months working Christmas tricks in the middle of the summer. But what we have now is we have the finished product. So what is Elf? Well, in my head, the main Elf routine, which you're going to see in a minute, you're going to see a performance of. There's the main Elf routine. And then there's like 3 bonus routines as well, using the same cards. And what you get with Elf is you get a bunch of custom designed cards. Now these are, as I said, designed by Gower. They look absolutely amazing. Instead of backs, they have Christmas trees, and instead of fronts, they have elves and presents and reindeer. And you can use these for so many different routines. In fact, basically what you have here is this collection of gaffs and double faces and so on and so forth that you can use to create your own magic. And I've already spoken to people that have already created their own magic with these cards, which is fantastic. The main Elf routine, I love. It's basically an oil and water mixed with a wild card with a kicker finish. And you're going to see a performance of it in a minute. Now, I'm going to perform it to Matt exactly the same way as I perform it to a family audience, as I perform it to a kids show audience. Now, I want you to understand, though, that if you do this, if you do perform this routine, and you don't want to do the story element, you don't have to. If you want to, you can do it as a straight-up trick, where you can say, hey, let me show you something with some cards. Now, these are Christmas cards, so they've got trees on the back of them, but on the front there's pictures of elves, right? Now I'm going to put 4 of the elves here. I'm going to put 4 of the elves here. I want to show you something amazing. Watch this. So you can do it very straight without the story, but I know a lot of the viewers of Magic TV, they do like story-based presentations, so I'm going to show you the story that I always use when I'm doing this for a family audience or I'm doing this for a kid show audience. If I'm doing a corporate audience, and I do perform this regularly in corporate audiences, especially over Christmas, obviously, then I kind of go for more of a straight presentation, if that makes sense. But this is the Elf routine. Now, I want you to have a look at this. This is a performance to Matt. When I've performed it, we're going to talk about what else that you can do with this set. You are going to see Elf.
He's cute.
He is cute. This is all to do with Christmas. How's your Christmas spirit?
That's amazing.
You're not very well today, are you?
Nope.
It's going to be a real challenge impressing you then. Try. Would you like me to give you the story version of this? There is a story. I know you like stories.
I like a story.
So, have you ever been to the North Pole?
Unfortunately not.
Have you ever met Santa?
unfortunately not.
Well, being a magician, obviously, I've met Santa, been to the North Pole several times.
Of course you have.
I have. And I'm going to use these cards to talk to you about a couple of the big problems that they have in the North Pole. But first of all, these are cards. They're not playing cards, they're Christmas cards. You can tell they're Christmas cards because they've got like little trees on them, right?
Yeah.
As you can see. Now, all of the cards are the same other than this one. This one has got some presents on it. And the reason is, when you go to the North Pole, if you go to the North Pole, there's three things that you're going to see a lot of. Presents, snow, and trees.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's what we have here. We have trees, we have snow, and we have presents.
Okay.
That's going to go over there, but we are going to get back to that a little bit later on.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. The thing that you're going to find most of at the North Pole, if you actually go into Santa's workshop, is you're going to see a lot of elves.
Yeah.
That is an elf.
That is
I'm well aware that that looks a little bit like Jack, but that is actually an elf.
Jack shaved his hair off, though.
He has shaved his hair off, right? Now, there's two types of elves that work at the North Pole. See, this is educational as well as entertaining.
Every day is a school day.
Absolutely. Two types of elves that work at the North Pole. The first elf, the red team, they are in charge of present creation and distribution. Basically, they work in the workshop, and their job is to make all the presents that Santa gives out on Christmas Day.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the red team, there would be no presents in your stocking on a Christmas morning.
Well, thank you, red team.
No problem. Now, the green team have an even more important job.
I mean, thank you. You're not the red team.
No, I'm thanking them on your behalf. The green team, they have an important job, but they're underlooked a little bit. The green team, they're in charge of reindeer care. Now,
that's not an underrated job. You've got to look after them, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. And if they don't do their job right, no flying around the world on Christmas Eve. I mean, they have an important job.
Rudolph's important too.
Well, here's the problem.
Rudolph lives matter.
You know, the problem with Rudolph is he doesn't really get involved much on Christmas Eve. He's like more of a... he's kind of like the face of the reindeer, but he's not really the most important one, really. But that's a different story for a different time.
Right.
The most important thing are the elves. Now, as you can see, I've got some of the red elves, I've got some of the green elves here, as you can see. I've got red elves. And you'll probably notice they're alternating all the way through.
Yeah.
And because there's an equal amount of red elves to the green elves. And I think that's a little bit weird. I've always thought that's odd. And the reason I've always thought it's odd is because surely it takes more elves to make all of the presents than it does to look after 10 reindeer. But, you know, I mean, whatever. It's Santa's
How many
gift.
reindeer were there?
There's like 10.
12 of them?
10 or 12. I don't know.
Wasn't it an odd number?
It was because of Rudolph. Yeah, because of Rudolph. Yeah. Can you name them all?
We're getting off topic.
We are getting off topic. Here's the problem with the elves, right? They are very naughty and they have magical powers.
Wow.
Now, because they're naughty and they have magical powers, they like playing tricks on people. And one thing they like to do is use their magic to kind of play a magical game of tag. And what they'll do is they'll bounce around all over the place by magic, and they'll try and catch each other.
Okay.
Now, Santa doesn't like this because he's very work-focused, Santa, so he won't like this. So they tend to play this when Santa isn't in the workshop or the stables. So sometimes he'll...
Which is all the time, I would imagine.
No, he's overlooking, he's overseeing this stuff. I mean, he's the boss, right? He's always around. He's always doing his thing.
Is he?
Yeah, but sometimes he'll get called into his bedroom for
Mrs.
a hot
Claus
cocoa.
stuff.
You know, for a hot cocoa. And, you know, Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus are busy.
Oh, this is taking a turn.
It really is. So when he goes off with Mrs. Claus and does his thing, the elves will mess about because they know they've got a few minutes before he comes back, right? Because that's how long it takes.
Minutes?
Well, that's how long
magical. He should be like...
Well, that's how long it takes to drink a cocoa.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, this is what they will do. You're not ruining Christmas for me, Matthew. This is what they will do, right? This is how the game of tag works. Let's say that I put a red elf and a green elf and a red elf and a green elf down there. Mm-hmm. Red elf, green elf, red elf, green elf. That leaves over here a red elf, a green elf, a red elf, and a green elf, right?
Yeah.
Now watch. This is how the magical game of tag works. Did you see the magic happen?
No.
You'll check it out now, because now over here, all you've got are the red elves. Told you. Weird. Now, if you've got the red elves over here, what's over here?
The green elves.
Exactly. And that's what they do. But like I said, Santa doesn't like it. He's not a fan. Not happy. So what he'll do is he'll sneak into the workshop or into the stables to try and catch them doing this.
Right.
that they'll never be able to catch him. Do you know why?
Right.
Because they realise and they'll just disappear off somewhere else. So, for example, if he walks into the workshop and tries to find the elves messing around, they'll just disappear, and all they'll find over there is presents, and presents, and presents, and presents. They won't find the elves.
Okay.
And if they go and look in the stables,
Yeah.
all they'll find... Yeah, there's Rudolph. Now, that's Rudolph. That's not Rudolph. That's Donna with a cold nose. It is the North Pole. Blitzen and all the rest of them. But they'll find just the reindeer over there, right? They won't
Where did
find...
the reindeer go?
Well, that's what I mean. That's the stables. The elves that work there, they've gone. They've disappeared. And all that's left are the reindeer and the presents.
Elves have gone rogue.
They've gone rogue. Well, no, they haven't gone rogue. Do you know where they've gone? They're like hanging around outside, next to the present pile. Do you remember that card that had all the presents there?
Yeah.
Now, that's where all the elves are.
Very good.
And now, you know the story of the North Pole and why the elves are no good.
I want to go.
Yeah,
Sounds
right?
like fun.
It is. It's a fun place. It's a fun place. You should meet Mrs. Claus. She's lovely. Shut up. So that's the main elf routine. And as you can see, and one of the things I want you to understand is there's a lot of magical moments in that trick. If you actually think about it, you've got that oil and water element. Then you've got the change of every single card there. So you've all of the elves changed to presents and reindeer, and then you've got the kicker finish where all of the elves are over there with the presents. There's a lot of magical moments. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking, well, I don't like story-based magic, and that's absolutely fine. If you don't like story-based magic, like I said, you can do this in a lot more of a straight style performance. But I want you to see exactly how the story works in the context of the trick. Now, as I said, with the gaffed cards that are included in Elf, you can do a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And there's a few different routines that I've included, but one that really just stands out as a super awesome trick to do is Colour Monte. Everybody loves Colour Monte, and there's a lot of different variations of Colour Monte on the market. This is one variation of Colour Monte that I really enjoy performing around about Christmas. Let me show this to you right now. It uses the Elf set. Let's have a look at a performance to match. I've only got 3 cards, as you can see. We've got trees on the other side. I've got trees on one side. I'll show you what's on the other side in a minute. But let me ask you a serious question.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people these days get scammed with online scams, and you know, there's different things that will happen online and offline that will try and scam people's money off them.
Yeah.
Which is terrible in this day and age. Have you ever been scammed by an elf?
Scammed by an elf?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
You ever been to the North Pole and been scammed by an elf?
No.
It can happen. Some of them are bad eggs.
Really?
Really.
I mean, if you were that cold all the time,
well, they're not all
you'd be
jingles and
pissed off
elves and happy, you know, and yo ho ho and all of that. No, yo ho ho is a pirate, isn't it? A ho ho ho,
Yeah.
different thing. Some of them will scam the money out of you.
Maybe it's the rum.
It could be. It could be. It could be the eggnog.
The eggnog.
The eggnog
That
is
is rum,
issue.
isn't it? Is eggnog rum?
I've never
think
never
eggnog's
had
rum.
one. I've never had an eggnog.
You've never had an eggnog?
An eggnog. Or any type of eggnog. Or any type of nog. I've never had a nog, egg or otherwise. You ever had an eggnog?
Yeah.
Oh, never.
I
Don't
lived
like
in the
egg.
States, didn't I? They drink eggnog loads over there.
Anyway, we get off topic again.
Yes.
Elves. Scammy elves. I'll tell you a story about a time I got scammed by an elf
You got scammed by an elf.
in the North Pole
Amazing.
as I was visiting Santa.
Don't think there's a story I've ever wanted to hear more. Okay.
Well, it happened when I was visiting Santa, right? And I was
Yeah.
just about to walk up to his front door and knock. A little elf walked up to me with a cardboard box, little newspaper on it. And he had 3 cards like this.
I'm actually picturing this happening.
And he looked like, I think he'd fallen on hard times. He looked a bit dishevelled. He was, I think
He's an elf living in the North Pole. He can't be short of a job.
he was drunk, I think. It was terrible. He was not
He was
looking
a
after
drunk
himself.
elf living
in
in
the
the...
North Pole. I think he'd been fired. I don't know. But anyway,
mean,
he said,
come on
he said,
now.
would you like to win some money? And I was like, yeah, who wouldn't? And he said, we'll play a little game then. And what he did is he showed me 3 cards. He said, look, this is a picture of an elf. That's a better looking elf than he was. He was not a good looking elf. But there's a picture of an elf. He showed a picture of an elf.
Oh,
And
poor
then
guy.
he said, I'm going to show you another card. That's got an elf on it as well. And he said, the last card is one that everybody wants. It's presents. And he said, you've got to follow the present card. If you follow the present card and you get it right, you win. I said, what do I win? He said, you win some eggnog. I'm like, I'm excited now. I've never tried eggnog.
Cool.
I want this. So he said, you've got to follow the presents. Now, I could tell he was a dodgy little elf. And I could just tell. And I looked away for a second because I heard a noise. And when I looked away, he didn't realise I spotted him, but I spotted him. What he did is he took that present card and he put it to the bottom. And then
Dodgy
little elf, right? And then when I turned back,
bastard.
but I saw him. When I turned back, he went, "Where's the presents?" And I went, "Ha ha ha ha, you little elf, I've got you. They're on the bottom. The presents are on the bottom." And he said, "No, that's an elf." I was like, "What?" Okay, well, it must be on the top there. I thought I was seeing things. It must be on the top. And he went, "No, that's an elf." I was like, "Well, somehow you've got it into the middle." And he went, "No, that's an elf." I'm like, "What?" At this point, I didn't realise, don't know how I didn't realise, that elves have got magic. He was using his magic powers. And I said to him, "You obviously somehow magicked away the presents. There's no presents there." He said, "No, the presents are on the bottom." I went, "Hang on a minute. How can the presents be on the bottom?" "Okay, it's an elf on top." And he said, "No, it's presents on top." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, presents are on top of the bottom." I said, "The middle's got to be an elf." And he went, "No, that's presents as well." What? I went, okay, there's got to be more than 3 cards. Somehow you've rung in some extra cards. He went, "No, 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 cards." Like, this is ridiculous. And then, apparently, I owed him like 40 eggnogs at this point. Didn't even realise. And he said,
"In 40 eggnogs."
That's currency in
They're a
North
singular thing, an eggnog.
Yeah, an eggnog.
Okay.
Yeah, I owed him 40 eggnogs.
Learn something new every
Yeah,
day.
exactly. So I said, he said, "Look, you owe me 40 eggnogs, but I tell you what, double or nothing. If you get this right, we'll call it quits. If not, you owe me 80 eggnogs." And I was like, "Okay." And he said, "Look, that's a picture of an elf." I said, "Correct, it is." He said, "This one is a picture of presents." I was like, "Correct." He's like, "Tell me what that one is. If you get it right, call it quits. If not, it's 80 eggnogs." Don't know why I did that, because you drink them. It's not a thing, is it? It's more of a 80 eggnogs. So I said to him, "Well, I don't know. It's meant to be an elf. But you're a dodgy little elf, so I'm going to go with presents." And he said, "Well, to be honest, if you'd said elves or you'd said presents, you were going to go it wrong. What I was looking for is elves and presents." And I don't even know where that came from, but that's why I've never tried eggnog, because frankly, I had to give all my eggnog to him. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. You can have a look at those if you want to.
What the fuck?
I know, dodgy little elf. Now, Colour Monte is a classic for a reason, and the reason it's a classic is because it always guarantees to get a great reaction from the audience. Again, just like with the original elf routine, there's a lot of moments of magic. Now, in all honesty, I love so many different versions of Colour Monte, and I love performing Colour Monte and theming it to a particular theme. If you see my trick playlist, I actually use the playlist cards to do a version of Colour Monte. I'm a big fan of Ian Bailey's new version of Colour Monte, but this is another version. It's a great version. It works really well. It's very topical in terms of presents and in terms of elves. And again, you know, I kind of do a very tongue-in-cheek presentation about going to the North Pole and being scammed by an elf. If that doesn't float your boat, if that's not the sort of presentation that you like, you don't have to do that presentation. The beautiful thing about this is you can present it in more of a straight way. It's totally up to you. Now, the cards that are included in Elf can do so much, but I've also included on there my more naughty and nice out of this world routine. Now, out of this world for me is one of the best self-working tricks of all time. It really is. It just always gets a great reaction. And it's one of those tricks where the magic happens in the spectator's hands, which is just really great. Now, excuse me, I've put on this project my naughty and nice out of this world routine, which when I'm doing corporates at Christmas, this is my go-to trick. When I'm doing table work, this is the routine that I do. It gets a fantastic reaction because you're putting the hat on the guy, which is just instantly funny. They're doing all the magic. You can get other people on the table to join in as well. It's just an incredibly strong routine. It involves everybody in the audience. It's one of those routines that packs small and plays big, because you can even do it to a very, very big audience on stage if you wanted to. Now, for me, the thing that makes it is the hook, and using the whole Chronicles of Christmas style presentation with the hat and the naughty and nice cards. Let's have a look at it so you see exactly what I'm talking about. Here's a question. Matt.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Christmas Chronicles on Netflix?
Oh, that's a brilliant film.
It's a great film.
No.
Okay.
I don't have time to watch Netflix.
Well,
I work for
it's
you.
all about Santa. And
Okay.
basically the film says that the source of all of Santa's power is his hat. Now, that's not necessarily completely true. However, his hat is magical, and this is actually Santa's hat.
The real one?
It's a real Santa's hat. I know it doesn't look like much, but that is the real Santa's hat. And it gives people magical powers. It gives them the power of Santa, but not the cool powers. Not like the ability to stop time and squeeze down chimneys and fly through the air or anything like that.
He doesn't fly though, Rudolph flies.
Yeah, but he kind of like floats down to the... He does stuff.
Okay.
But it doesn't get any of those cool powers. What it does give you the power to do is work out whether somebody's naughty or nice, because that's a really important power that Santa has. You know, he has to check a list twice to see who's naughty and nice.
You can't be that good at it if he has to do it twice.
Yeah, he's double checking. He's thorough, if nothing else. But this is Santa's hat, and we're going to experiment to see if it really does give magical powers to the wearer.
Does Santa's hat just have a pack of cards in it?
Yeah. Because he likes playing cards, does Santa?
I love this trick already.
Now, you're going to take this off.
Oh, man.
And you're going to put this on. And when you put it on, you will feel the power of Santa coursing through your veins.
Do I need to step back? Is it going to glow with energy?
You feel it? You feel it? Are you all Santaed up? You've got Santa powers. You've got the ability to tell whether someone's naughty or nice.
It's really uncomfortable.
Well, let's test it. Look at me. Am I naughty or nice?
Naughty.
You're doing it well.
100%.
It's perfect.
What about
it's
me, mate?
perfect.
You're nice, Jack. You're lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, it might be defected.
Twat.
But we'll test it. I've got these cards, but they're not playing cards. There's actually 52 blank cards, and on some of them I wrote naughty, and some of them I wrote nice.
Okay.
Naughty, nice, naughty, nice. You can check them out. Make sure there's a mix of both naughty and nice. And then when you have, I want you to shuffle them. You can see there's some naughty, some nice. I wrote the nice in red. I wrote the naughty in black.
Yeah.
No difference. And then when you're happy, shuffle them.
His hat is really itchy.
Yeah, well, you don't know where it's been.
Has Santa got nits?
Has it got hair?
A little bit. A little bit.
How has he not got hair?
Bald,
Have you
isn't
ever
it? It's
seen
bald, isn't it?
Santa? He's got like
tons
more
of hair.
white hair than you've ever seen.
He has, exactly.
Yeah, on his face.
And on his head, Jack.
He's like massive bouffant of grey
Yeah.
white hair.
Yes.
Santa's got no hair.
He's a bald guy with a giant white beard.
Where did you grow up?
Fucking
Have you
Narnia.
seen the Christmas Chronicles?
I know.
Oh, whatever.
That's an
Right,
adoption.
here we go. We've got a nice card
Yeah.
and a naughty card. You're going to work out whether naughty or nice, and we're going to see how well you do. Hopefully, you'll get them all right because you have the power of Santa coursing through your veins. So, we'll start nice and easy. Naughty or nice?
Naughty.
You're doing great. If it's naughty, I'm going to put it there. If it's nice, I'm going to put it there. Naughty or nice?
Naughty.
Sure?
Yeah.
Positive?
Yeah.
You sure?
Naughty.
You're doing well. I'm going to give you two. Now, they're both naughty, they're both nice, or they're mixed. And if they're a mix, which one's which?
Naughty.
Nice and naughty. Let's do it again. Let's take out 3 cards this time. What you got?
Naughty. Nice.
Now, some people that are watching this think you're guessing, but you're not. Do you feel the power of Santa coursing through your very fibre of your being?
No, I am guessing.
No, you're not. You feel like you're guessing, but you're not. You're not. Trust me. What are these?
Nice. Naughty. Nice. Naughty.
Okay. Let's see if we can do it again. We'll take this. Excuse me. This one. This one. This one. This one. This one. Bit of a cough. Sorry. And again. Positive?
No.
You're doing great.
Of course I'm not positive.
Well, you're doing really well. I mean, really well. I mean, normally people find it a real struggle to do this while they've got the hat on. You're doing it brilliantly. What you got here?
Why would they struggle to do this with a hat on?
Well, because like they don't believe that the hat is giving them these powers.
I don't believe that's
Do I?
giving me the powers.
Let's do 3 and then we'll speed things up. Nice.
Literally.
Okay. Give these a mix up again, but don't look at the faces. Put them under the table and mix them up because obviously we don't want you to be influenced by which one's naughty and which one's nice. So these are all the naughty ones, right?
Yeah.
These are all the nice ones, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not supposed to be cutting these. Just mix them anyway.
Yeah, shuffle.
Okay.
Do whatever you want to do, yeah.
Making sure I'm not fucking up your trick.
It's not a trick, it's real. Idiot. It's not me that's doing it, it's you. I'm trying to Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, we're going to change the markers around. So this time I'm going to put naughty there and nice there. You can take the rest of them, hold them as if you're dealing, and we're going to speed the rest of it up. If it's naughty, deal it there. If it's nice, deal it there. Don't look at them. Just go with your instinct. You're going to feel like you're guessing, but you're not. Don't go too fast. Don't go too slowly. You should be able to feel it as you do it. You should be able to feel it. Now you get a bit too fast. You'll feel it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not too fast. Keep going. It's okay. Don't worry. Everyone makes a mistake. Keep going. You're doing well up until that point. You were just speeding up and getting cocky.
It's probably my favourite trick, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. How do you think you did? Did you do well? Did you do terrible?
How the hell am I supposed to know?
Santa's up.
Well, you think all these are naughty. You think all these are nice. You think all these are nice and all these are naughty. Start with these, turn them over, see how you did.
Fuck off. What the fuck?
What about these?
What the fuck?
Fucking hell, all the same.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Don't forget these.
Oh my god.
Now do you believe in the power
I'm
of the hat?
magic!
You are. You are. It's the power of the hat, dude. Power of the hat.
I'm actually magic.
You are.
Let me not get my gifts off you.
So try it again. Try it again. Naughty or nice?
You're still naughty. Nice.
No.
Right.
Look at him. What is
It's nice.
No, it's not. It's naughty.
Is he?
Just keep practicing with the hat. You'll get there.
People,
Jack's
help,
nice.
help me.
Now, how commercial is that? I mean, that is such a commercial routine. It brings the house down. A lot of the time when I'm performing this trick, I can't close with anything else. I really can't. It really is strong. Now, there's a whole bunch of different routines on the project. You get all the custom designed cards. You get about an hour and a half tutorial. You get performances and explanations of all of these tricks. And the thing is, it's only £18. Now, obviously, I'm going to give this 100%. Why would I not? It's my trick. It's my project. Just like with everything that I ever put out, I'm 100% behind this big time. I absolutely love this. It's been a big tick in my bucket list to be able to release a Christmas trick, and I finally released a Christmas trick, and I feel my life is complete in many, many ways. The routine is very strong. The cards are very well made. They'll last a long time. The whole routines are very easy to do. Anyone who knows colour Monte, you know it's not difficult. The naughty and nice routine is self-working. The sandwich routine is a little bit more tricky, but there's nothing really that you won't be able to do. Same with the main elf routine. If you're looking to add Christmas-themed tricks into your set, whether it's to show people who come around your house, whether it's to perform it at a gig, regardless of whether it's a family audience, a kid show audience, or an adult audience, this is the perfect set for you. And at only £18 with all the custom printed cards and with an hour and a half of tutorial, in my opinion, it's a steal. Now, as I say, I call this a review show special. It's not really a review. I am biased, take that as it will. But I've had so many people asking me about Elf. I wanted to be able to kind of highlight to you what it is and what it is that you get for it and why I think it's so good. So for me, Elf gets 100%. It's absolutely amazing. It's only available from Alakazam. So you can go and pick it up from Alakazam and you can learn all of the routines I've performed for you on this review show special and a whole bunch more. So there you go, guys. That's another review show special in the bag. Do me a favour. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You want to get it? Just go and head over to Alakazam. You can get it from there. You want to see more videos like this? Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another set of videos. And don't forget, if you haven't already done so, please go check out the NETRIX, www.thenetrix.com. It's www.thenetrix.com. You can get access to immediately and see what all the fuss is about. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.